honestly, if someone had told us that building a house or maybe just building a foundation from setting out up to concrete slab can cost someone around $15,000 US, that person is actually exaggerating. Am I lying, my guy?
Not even.
Hi guys, my name is Tari Mac, and if you're watching me here for the first time, welcome. And I'm not here alone, I'm with
DJ. How are you guys?
Thank you so much for tuning in once again. So today we have decided to do the most requested video. Once people saw that we completed the slab level, so many people were actually asking, DJ, are you excited?
Super excited. I'm super excited, guys. I just want to thank the Almighty for the developments that we managed to do at this particular point. And we also want to thank our followers who continuously motivated and helped us when it came to this building journey.
Yeah, thank you so much. And our video today has been sponsored by my ground crew. If you're someone who is in the diaspora, if you need a trusted service provider or a contractor, please download the My Ground Crew application. You simply post your project or task on the application and service providers will submit their quotations on the application. You can communicate with service providers on the app using voice or text messages. You can also pay the service provider or contractor on the application once they have successfully completed the job. And thanks so much to those who have started engaging on my ground crew application. It means a lot supporting. For more information, please contact the numbers that I'm providing on the screen. So trust me, guys, some of the costs that we actually incurred doing this project, they actually surprised us. But because we had done some of the researches before doing the building project, it wasn't much. Yeah, it wasn't really much. But of course, there are so many hidden costs. And I think we have been talking about hidden costs several times. And yeah, I think, DJ, we have to give him a nickname.
Mr. Hidden Cost.
Mr. Hidden Cost. Because even before the project actually started, you would always say, we are going to have hidden costs, we are going to incur hidden costs. And me as the woman, just because you want to see the progress, you just say, we can do it, we can do it. And I always say we can do it because I feel like when he's at that moment, he wants like to give up, I'm there to keep on encouraging him so that we keep on moving forward. Yes, and I think that is one thing that has been helping us to keep on going, to say even 1 cent can actually help in building one thing that is needed on the building project. It can be $1, you can go and buy brick force, right? It can be $10, you can, or $13, $20, you can go and buy 1 bag of cement. So yeah, that is what we have been doing. So one thing that we want to do on this one is we want to break each and everything down, because almost everything that we bought on this stage, it's a lot. For the foundation that we want to talk about, it's a lot, but we have tried to do a breakdown of the before expenses before we actually started the building project, and when we started like clearing the ground and everything, then the actual cost of when we started the actual building project. So that's what we are going to do, and the DJ will be helping me to
unpack.
Exactly. That's why I love you, my guy. You make my life easier. You make my life easier. Thank you. So we have everything here. We wrote everything down. So we are just going to unpack it like the DJ said. So the first stage, that is number 1, that is before we even started the building project. I'm sure you have seen us going to Kwamrombedzi. You have seen us celebrating the plans. This is the pre-building process, yes. We have shown you the actual architectural designs. You have seen even the receipts that we paid. You have also seen, and on those costs, there are also other that we are not going to mention here, but just know what on this charge that we are going to mention, there are other costs behind that we can't really mention on camera. Before we even started the actual building project, we had already started pumping out money. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is the architectural designs. And by architectural designs, maybe you can help me try and explain what are we really talking about?
I think in simple terms, we are talking about the plan. The plan, as well as things that are associated with the plan.
Yes. So in this case, we are just talking about the design that was done by our architecture. So remember, this designer that we're dealing with, it's from the developer, that is Lingate. And for this one, we paid $792 for what do they call Hanzi kushandisa plan yao? What's the term that they use?
For duplicating their plans.
For plan approval, I'm sure we mentioned that we paid $472. Then for the rates, we paid $561, including $81 of the opening of the account. So per on the 561, you just say minus $81. Then the structural design, that is for the steel. This is pre-building. Yes. So structural design, it was $250 that we paid, but the actual amount that they want is $300. Then there are also other costs. I think I will just put that on $100. So in total, the amount that we paid for before the project even started, that's $2,175.
Yeah. Then I think maybe to chip in onto the list of expenditure that has been shared, it's also important for our viewers to understand that some of the costs, they differ. It's plus or minus, mainly due to your floor plan. Ours was 198 square meters. So you find that for other people who are building, maybe it might be 172, 178, or even 215 square meters. So most of the costs that are charged at the council, they are subject to the floor plan that you have, the actual square meters that you have on your plan. Yes. And also, I think if we are going to be looking at using this, you should just use this outline as pointers, not as things that you can actually say is cast into stone to say this is actually how much you're going to pay. Because for some of the fees that we paid to the councils, our council Zimba is not the same with other councils. So I think we should stand guided that these figures that have been shared are just for us to use as a template of maybe what we have to plan based on where we are going to build and maybe even the size of your house.
Yes. And also just for those who might be interested, our stand size, it's 349 square meters. We can just say 350. But yeah, that's the stand size. So thank you so much for saying that, because yeah, it was going to be a challenge with other people assuming that it's the same everywhere. So the second stage that we are now moving on to is the getting ready stage. And by getting ready, we are talking of making sure that everything that is needed to start the building project is on site. And on this one, we're also talking about even clearing the land. We are getting ready to make sure that the project is about to start. So this is when we bought the cabin. And for the cabin, we bought the cabin, two-roomed cabin, and we also bought a cabin toilet. And we also bought the toilet chamber and also the accessories needed to make sure that everything is in place. I don't know.
I think to connect to the main sewer pipe. Because I think, as alluded to before in videos that we have done, you cannot start any kind of activity, building, or even to clear land when you have not installed the ablution facilities.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with health issues and whatnot.
So on this one, yeah, okay. And on this one also about the tank. So one thing that you have to know is when you are getting ready, or maybe construction is it's not only about buying bricks, it's not only about buying cement. There are so many things which are involved in that process. So for everything that I mentioned, the cabin, the temporary toilet, tank, and clearing the land, we used around $915 for everything. So you have to take note of that. And now we are moving on to the next stage, that is stage number 3. This is when the actual work begins. And I believe on this day we were so excited when the builder mentioned that we want to start the setting out of the foundation. Maybe you can tell me, how did you actually feel when you told us we are doing the setting out tomorrow? Because remember, when we came from Zimba, we wanted him to do it soon the next day, but because of other plans that he had, he couldn't come the next day.
Okay, so I can say that personally, I don't know yourself, I was overjoyed that we are finally starting our building journey, and quite oblivious of the fact that there are quite a number of things that need to be done. Yes, and also quite a number of costs that we are going to see, that we are going to incur. So at that moment it was okay, but as time went on, that's when the nightmare started, and I think we are going to unpack some of these things as we go.
So on this one, we are talking about the setting out. Like the DJ said, he was really excited, and I was also excited. And we are also talking about trench excavation. We are talking about footing, brickwork, backfilling, compaction, as well as the concrete slab. So for everything that we have mentioned, paid 2,800 for the labor. This is for labor from the first stage up to when it was completed, concrete slab, where the project is now. And yeah, it might be more, it might be less, now depending with the communication that you'll be having with the builder, or maybe depending with your relationship with the builder.
Okay, and also I think adding on to that, I think it's something that I have said before. It also has to do with the size of your house.
Yes.
So the size of your house is that key indicator that is going to influence some of the costs when it comes to maybe excavations, footing, slab, what else? Yeah.
Now let's talk about the material that kept on coming over and over again. I think every time that we would see a call from our builder coming in, we would know that there is actually something that is being needed. And maybe guess what I want to talk about?
Cement. Cement.
I think cement and water, they were the two things that were on demand with our builders. It is actually one of the things that was costly on our budgets. So at first we bought the first 100 bags at 1,330. We bought the other bags, I think this was 20 bags at 266. We also bought another 10 bags at $133. We bought another 100 bags at 1,330. So for transport, it was 80.
I think it's actually also with noting that the cost per bag, what was the cost per bag of cement?
Oh, okay. The cost per bag, it was $13.30.
$13.30.
Yes. So for the 100 bags that I mentioned, it was 1,330. But this is actually exclusive of of transport. Now it depends with where you're buying the cement. At some shops it's $13.50. At some shops it's $14. We are talking of the cement that we are actually preferring, that is Sonoma 42.5 as well as Superset 42.5. Though nowadays they are not actually preferring the Waxin. The Waxin, it's now the new brand of Superset, but it's going for $13 because they just want people to have confidence in the new branding. So,
and I think it's actually important to mention that this is the cost of cement where we were buying.
Yes,
guys.
yes, yes.
I've seen a lot of comments, a lot of people saying, no, you are lying. Where we bought our cement, as I have alluded to before, we want other home builders to use this as an estimate template. I think we have to underline that word, estimate template. Should not be cast in stone to say, what these guys have told us on the video is what you should expect.
Yes.
You can actually expect to pay more or to pay less based on where you have bought your items.
Yes. The total amount that we used, it's it's $3,229. That's the total amount inclusive of transport from where we got the cement to the site. For the footing, we used around 87 bags of cement. Then for the box brickwork, I think it was around 30.
About 30, 35, 37 bags.
About 35, 37 bags. Then for the concrete slab, we used around 80 something bags as well. Then we also have other bags which were left. I think about 24 bags which were left that we are going to use to continue the brickwork. So you can also do the calculations. So the total amount is 3,229 of the bags of cement that we bought. Material that we are going to mention here. Now we are talking of the bricks that we used. We are talking of the crusher run that we used, gravel, mesh wire, and everything that we are going to mention here. It was completed, like finished, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used everything to the last grain. I don't know if that's the correct term.
Yeah, and I think we would want to thank our builder, Wasu, for giving us estimates that were on point so that we don't waste items, waste money, because in building, guys, each dollar it counts.
Yeah, it really counts. So on the bricks, we bought 20,000 bricks in total. The box brickwork, we used 16,000. Is it 16,500 or 16,000?
I can just safely say 16,000. And I think for for our foundation, the depth was quite deep, and also the height that the builders left the foundation at, it was quite high. So for someone might actually go on and punch into the calculator and saying, guys, your floor, the number of square meters and the number of items that you're saying you used, it's not
telling.
It's not, yeah, that's the word. Thank you so much.
Today I've corrected you English.
So yeah, it has to do with the depth of the foundation as well as the height of the foundation, as it were. So guys, let us judiciously use this information as templates, not the final thing.
Yeah. For the bricks, remember I mentioned it's 2,455 inclusive of transport. Bricks, they changed the prices. If I'm to tell you that the first 15,000 bricks that we bought, they were on $110 per 1,000 bricks. Then the second batch of the 5,000 bricks that we bought, they were now on $105 US dollars per 1,000 bricks, and the current bricks that we bought, like now for superstructure, they are on $100 per 1,000 bricks. So if I'm telling you these charges, don't make them to say, we had on Tari Mac's channel, she said bricks, they are on $100. Why are you telling us 110 now? So it just depends with the season, the time that you are thinking of starting your own building project.
And I think also the costing, it also depends on the supply and demand dynamics. In economics, they say when there is abundant supply, it means the cost will go down. If there is lesser supply, the cost will go up. Then also in terms of demand, if there is need for an item, it means that it's going to fetch a higher amount of money. Then I think the opposite follows.
So yeah, we mentioned the bricks, and then we bought the crusher run. The crusher run, the total amount that we paid for, it was 1,180. For the crusher run, we first bought 40 cubic. And remember, it's $15 per cubic. Then we had to add another
30.
We added 30, right?
Yeah.
Because we had that 5 cubic that was left on the footing. So we added 30 cubic. So that total, that's the one that is making it 1,180, including transport. For transport, I have just included it because we bought it very close to where we are building. Asharan, we were buying it very close to where we are building. So the cost, it was around $45, $50, at times $70, depending with who you approached. Yeah, so it just depends because it's just the prices for the radius. So yeah, for you it might be expensive or even cheaper depending with where also you are building. And then we also bought gravel. Gravel, at first it was very affordable for us. But yeah, I think let me just say the total that we paid for gravel. And one thing that you have to know is if you are buying gravel, the market price is around 130 to 145 US dollars or 150, also depending with where you are buying.
150, 135 for what volume?
For my 10 cubic. It's for my 10.
Don't forget we're talking about cost per cubic meter now. So yeah, so it's per 10 cubic meters. Yeah.
Per 10 cubic meters, 130 to 150 or more, depending.
So, and I think looking at people who are building in Spitzkop, and the level of foundations that I have seen that are being built in Spitzkop, we can safely say that you need no lesser than 80 to 90 cubic meters of such. So I think you have to budget accordingly. Yeah.
You can safely say that we bought at 230. Because like I mentioned, the other, I think 60 cubic, we were just given. It was more like we were being given the gravel. So it was 230 for the gravel for 110 cubic that we bought. Because for this one, I can't really break it down because I don't want you to assume that you can also go and get it. Because the 230, maybe it might be for you to buy only 20 cubic.
Yeah.
But for us, it was for buying the 110 cubic. For this one, God had us because our foundation, it required gravel wanda. Now we are moving on to water. In water, it was a lot that we actually used from footing up to concrete slab.
Not even forgetting about the water that our builders were using on site.
Yes,
so you also have to consider that. And I think you can't even start building without that water being on site.
Yes, that's very true. So the total amount of water that we used, it's what can we say? I think let's just say 15,000, 40,000.
It's 40,000 for, I think maybe if you can
Should
just,
I break it down?
Yeah.
So for the footing and also the water that the builders were using up to the footing level, it was around 15,000 liters. Then for the box brickwork, they used around 10,000 liters. Then for the compaction, they used 15,000 liters. So yeah, this is where we are.
Then also there's actually some of the waters, the ad hoc waters that were being delivered in between. I think we can estimate it up to 10,000 liters.
Yeah.
So what we are essentially looking at now is about 50,000 liters up to where we started our building journey to where we are at this particular moment. So I was saying it's 50,000 liters. So they deliver in 5,000 liter consignments. So the cost per 5,000 liter consignment, it differs according to the supplier and the quality of water that is being supplied. Yeah, because for us, for some people, they say maybe water for compaction, water for footing, maybe if it's effluent water, they don't care. But we should not forget that we are using the same tank where we want to put our clean water and our effluent water for those non-essential stages. So for us, we just said, no, let's just buy clean quality water. So we're buying this water at $50 per 50,000. So
5,000.
per 5,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be more, it might be less, depending on your supplier. So it's not one size fits all, guys. Yeah, because bana one not gonna go I know someone who does $30 per 5,000. Someone says $80 per 5,000. So yeah,
Yeah, that's very
just
true.
a guideline.
So on this one, we're estimating around 500.
So I think 50 times the 10 loads. That's half a thousand for water
$500
only.
US. Then also there are other building materials that we bought, other foundation materials. Maybe we can just break them down. We bought skim light that was used for the setting out. We bought impemo that we used. The first impemo that we bought, it was 100 bags, and we bought the other, how many bags was it?
The same.
The same, right? Then additional black, we bought also black plastic for 250 microns black plastic. We also bought mesh wire, 14 sheets at 280 US dollars, like the 14 sheets that we wanted. It was going for.
We didn't talk about the black plastic, the cost.
The black plastic, the cost, it was $80.
$85.
$85, yeah.
Then the additional black plastic,
We bought it
that was added 10 meters, that was $15.
Then I think ranging on that, the total amount that we paid, it's around 500 and 550 US dollars on what we mentioned. Then for the foundation labor, I'm sure I've mentioned that we paid around 2,800 US dollars for the labor from setting out up to concrete slab labor. So the total, it was 2,800 US dollars, and we mentioned that for you it might be more or it might be less. Then there's also one thing that we were about to forget that almost made my husband to go into depression. What is it still? But now, do you say, Kuti, it's actually covering the pit sand that we're going to buy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost going hand in hand, because from the start of the box brickwork up to where we are with the building project, they were using the pit sand that they got from doing the trench excavation. So for the steelwork, for the bending, everything, buying the steel that was needed, we bought at 2,200 US dollars. The initial charge, it was 2,300 US dollars, but we had to negotiate, kindly negotiate, you know. If someone discounts around 100 US dollars, for us it will be a lot, because we know that person would have gone out of their way to make it possible for us. So we are truly
and also
grateful.
I think those amounts, be it small in terms of our perception at the costing mechanism, as they become cumulative, they might actually amount to quite significant amounts of monies, as it were.
Yeah, that's very true. And I also had, just remember Shumba Africa mentioning that at times when the clients comes and they ask for a discount, we give them a $10 discount. Some they even complain to say, how can you give us a $10 discount? But to them, it's a lot, considering the profit margins that they get from,
involved.
yeah. So going on, we also did the electrical, it's just slab tubing. I'm sure you've seen that. And for the total amount, that was 200 US dollars. For electrical conduits, we bought at 100 US dollars. Then electrical labor, it was also 100 US dollars. Then the estimated total so far, drum roll, drum roll, my guy.
No.
Drum roll.
No, I can't. I can't.
Why? Because of the figure. You're actually looking at the figure and you're thinking, so did I actually spend all this money on this building project? My guy, that's a paspano. No focus, yes. You don't have to think much. It's just money. I think if you think like that, at times you won't have much stress to just say money will come and money will go. You can't have money forever in life. Money will always come in and it will go. So let me do it. Drum roll. So estimated total cost so far, estimate, like I mentioned, it's around 15,500 US dollars. It's plus or minus. Maybe there are some things that I actually left out on this, or there, I think there might be other things that I would have left out on this, right?
Yeah, but I think
Panama Brick Force.
Yeah, I think as we have said before when we started the video, this is just a template that you might use. It's not something that is cast in stone or something that is exhaustive. So we are just saying that for the number of square meters we have on our stand that we're building a house, for us, for all the costs that we incurred, for us to come up to the foundation level, we are looking at plus or minus 15,000 US dollars. Some of the final costs, they depend with the suppliers, the guys who come and give us the services, the councils and whatnot. So you might find for the same size in other parts, it might be significantly higher or significantly lower, or almost the same.
Yeah, that's very true. And also considering the ground, I'm sure you've seen that our ground required some kind of special foundation. Our ground also required some kind of cement, the impemo that we used to make sure that we eliminate moisture. So it might be not the same for you if you're also building where you don't require all those things. So,
and also I think for some people, even if they're building where they need those things, they might actually choose not to use those things. So
So let's also just maybe for the best, because we mentioned everything that we did from preparation up to where we are. Looking at the foundation only, I think we are looking at plus or minus 12,000 US dollars for everything that we bought, and also for the labor of the builder. We are looking at plus or minus 12,000 US dollars, but knowing for a fact that on our side it was plus 12,000. Yes. For us, it was plus 12,000. So, guys, this is what we wanted to share with you. today, and I hope this video is going to be helpful to you to make decisions when it comes to where you can build, how you are going to do it and stuff. And it's also going to help you in budgeting. You can also
And
budget
planning.
and planning, yes. And like the DJ said, these costs, they differ depending on where you are going to buy. Just remember, there's actually this other place where someone wanted to deliver material, and the person charged transport 400 and something US dollars for delivery of my building aggregates. So for us, I think we never incurred those costs
because we are a bit closer to the source.
Yes. So for you, it might be more or even less. And also considering the floor area, remember we mentioned it's 198 square meters, and the stand size is 349 square meters. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, if you've got a project that you would want us to manage, we can do that for you. And if you also have an event that is upcoming that you want professional DJs who can do the DJing for you, we have these guys, yes, they can do that for you. Don't hesitate. Even if you come, Muremaga, say we have got all the equipment that can make the event to be good. So I've decided also to change the number that I've been using. I've decided also to change the number that I've been using for the WhatsApp if you want to get in touch with me. So because I don't want the messages to mix with my personal oil, because at times
for businesses
and other businesses, because at times I actually miss some of the messages that comes in, because the messages, they come in like a lot of messages at once. So if I've got a number that I dedicate for the projects, or for anyone who wants to contact us as Tari Mac, they can just contact us using that that number. I think let me just put it here. So this is the number that you'll be using from today onwards. Those who have got my older number, yes, you can use it here and there, but I think I prefer us communicating with the another number for easy communication and for quick responses, I think. So up until next time, cheers.